All right, welcome everyone. This Thursday morning in Sydney. I'm not sure where you all are in the world, but Thursday morning in Sydney. Welcome to today's Productivity Ninja Skill Booster. Today we're talking about team well-being. So for this session today, it is a short session. It'll only be about 20 minutes of content, but I've taken some of the best bits from our other workshops and put it together so we can all just have a think about team well-being, which I'd like to say starts with us. So it starts with ourselves. A lot of you will be here thinking about your teams, but we also have to be thinking about ourselves as we talk about this topic today. For those of you that don't know me, here are my details for you. My name's Matt Cowdroy. Feel free to grab a screenshot of this or take a photo. You can contact me through any of these different channels that you like. And I love talking about productivity, stress management, well-being, anything you want to give me a call or an email and have a chat about. Would love to connect with you. For those of you that haven't come across Think Productive before, Think Productive is a global business based on the book, or a lot of our content is based on the book written by our founder, Graham Alcott from the UK. The book, How to Be a Productivity Ninja, changed my life. I bought this book about 7 years ago when I was overwhelmed and stressed in corporate life. And it made such a difference to me that I bought the license to Think Productive in Australia and New Zealand. And that's what we do here now. We support people to worry less, achieve more, love what you do, as you can see on the subtitle of the book here. Now, one more thing, just setting up today's session. After today's session, you will all get access to the Productivity Ninja Academy. We'll be setting you all up with a complimentary membership to that for 3 months. In the Academy, you can watch different videos, you can get a copy of the book in there, all sorts of things in there. So you'll all be getting that after today's session. So once again, welcome to this session about team well-being. Today, I will be covering these 5 topics: stress, hybrid working, lizard brain, movement, walking meetings. So this is team well-being with a bit of a difference today. I'm not actually even talking about nutrition, because that's a whole separate topic and something I'm not an expert in, but I will be talking about these more mind-based, body-based practices to support ourselves and others with our team well-being. I just want to check in on the chat, see if anyone's put any questions or anything there yet. Feel free to put any questions in the chat if you'd like to, and we'll also be having time at the end for questions. Let's talk about stress. Stress is real. We all know that. Life is a busy, busy game. Life and work is a busy game of spinning plates. Many of us feel like we're just trying to keep everything together. And sometimes we feel like we've got it all together and then the next minute it all falls apart. I made a comment to a friend the other day that I felt like I was adulting quite well. And then the next day something happened. I hadn't paid the car rego or something. And I thought, oh, now I'm not adulting very well. So this is real. The stress of keeping everything in balance, keeping everything going is real. Now, many of you have seen this slide before, this busy head that a lot of us have. This is causing stress. We have this, our teams have this. So today we're focusing on team well-being. So it really is about how can we support ourselves and our teams when we've got these busy heads going on. We talk about doing a brain dump at Think Productive. And this is where we write down everything that's going on in our brain on small pieces of paper, get it all out of our head so that we can clear our head and have more effective conversations with people, more effective relationships, more effective thought processes once we've cleared our head. So we go into this in detail in the workshops, but today I just wanted to acknowledge this is normal. We have this busy head going on, but you can do something about it. Do a brain dump, get it all out, everything that's in there. When we're thinking specifically about team well-being and stress, it's so important that we inject some fun into our work. Now, these can be simple examples like even just stopping for a team coffee, going for a team lunch, jumping on a virtual meeting if we're working hybrid or working virtual, having lunch together, sharing some jokes, sharing some gifts, book clubs, whatever it is, to create some connection amongst your team. This is so powerful for our emotional and mental well-being. If you're interested in looking into this further, there's a great book called The Happiness Advantage by Sean Achor. And in The Happiness Advantage, they're talking about research that has been done, and I believe it's still going at Harvard, where the happiness advantage is if you do something that makes you feel good, If you do something that's fun, the next thing you do, you get a better result. So this could be a sporting event, or it could even be a team meeting. So if you do something in your team meeting that's fun at the start, you will have a better team meeting. And yes, having fun at work can sometimes feel a little bit forced or feel a little bit staged, but it really is important. And the research that's explained in that Happiness Advantage book really does show why that matters. The other part of stress is making sure we're getting enough rest. Resting is investing in our future self. Good quality sleep at night, enough breaks throughout the day. And I'll be talking about breaks shortly and how they affect the brain. The priority of getting some really good quality rest is important. So if we're not sleeping enough, it's like we're drunk. It's like we're 0.05 alcohol if we're not getting about 7 hours of decent sleep a night. So I love this little phrase of resting is investing in our future self. The second thing on today's agenda is hybrid working. Now, one of our ninjas, Gavin Nelson, ran a session on this a couple of weeks ago, and you can find the recording on our YouTube channel. But just to think about hybrid working and specifically how it relates to team well-being, because hybrid working is causing some stress. Hybrid working is making some people feel confused, lost. This definitely happened when we were working from home, when COVID was more rampant in Australia and globally. And I know it's still rampant in many places globally. So love and respect to those of you that are still having a lot of struggle with that. But we're moving back into hybrid working. So there'll still be this happening, people feeling isolated. I love these two words, thanks to one of my clients that mentioned these words to me: micro silos and proximity bias. So micro silos with hybrid working, are there certain groups that are getting more benefit than others, or even feel like they're getting more benefit than others? Proximity bias, people that are in the office, are they getting more attention, more respect, their decisions getting heard more than those that are not in the office on different days even? So really good things to think about with hybrid working and how this is affecting our team well-being, people feeling isolated. Now, confusion. This is a word that I haven't seen before. It only came to me as I was thinking of this workshop today. Confusion. There are so many channels to be communicating with. So when we're thinking about team well-being, we need to be really careful with what channels we're using, how we're using them, how we're communicating with each other. This can cause overwhelm. This can really be causing overwhelm at the moment. We've got a workshop called Supercharge Your Team Comms, where we go through all this and come up with a comms manifesto and talk about all the different channels. But it's really good to have an agreement with your team of what channels are you going to be using, what are they going to be used for, to help avoid this confusion, if you like. And just some other comments on team well-being and thinking about hybrid working. It's really good to be thinking about different activities we can do in different parts of that hybrid working. So there are activities that are best to do in the office, such as interaction, connection, networking, collaboration, meetings. So when we're in the office, encouraging our team to be focusing on these things. And when we're working from home, encouraging our team to be doing the focused work, getting the work-life balance, being more productive. So about thinking, when we're thinking team well-being, which is what we're covering today, encouraging our team and ourselves to split our tasks well, plan our tasks well between work and the office. Work and home. And when we're at home, thinking about the ninja characteristic of stealth and camouflage that I'm sure a lot of you have come across before with our training. Stealth and camouflage is hiding. How can we shut down, block out all those distractions for some time during the day? Encouraging your teams to do this can really help. This helps with our well-being. It helps with our focus. It helps with our sense of calm. Now, the lizard brain. Number 3, the lizard brain. The lizard brain is also called the amygdala. The amygdala. I'm just going to put amygdala in the chat for you here because I'll be using this word a few times. Amygdala. There we go. The lizard brain is our reptilian brain. It's here to keep us safe. It's here to be continually looking out for danger. When we're thinking about our team well-being, we need to understand that some of our team and ourselves will be having different responses to stress at different stages of the work cycle. When we're under stress, we lose the function of the rest of our brain. We have what's called an amygdala hijack. Now, we can help ourselves and we can help our teams with this by practicing some breathing together. Now, this might seem a bit out there for some of you, but people love this exercise, and it's the brain reset breath. And all we need to do in the brain reset breath is start to focus on our breath and make our exhalation longer than our inhalation. So this is the brain reset breath. So if you're inhaling do it with me if you like. If you're inhaling for a count of 3, start exhaling for a count of 4 or 5. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 4 or 5. Now, 3 or 4 of those breaths and we offset the amygdala hijack. That's the really important thing here. Once again, we can do that at the start of a team meeting with the group. Lovely thing to do. So when this lizard brain, this amygdala, is starting to go crazy from increased stress levels, such as COVID, working from home, hybrid working, everyday life, this simple breathing technique can really help. And something you might be finding in your teams is decision fatigue. You might be finding this with yourself as well, is making so many decisions because there's so much changing at the moment. This is normal. So it's really important to make sure we're looking after ourselves so that we can be making smart decisions. Just know that this is normal. That's what I wanted to share today about decision fatigue, that we are all overwhelmed from so much that's been going on in the last 18 months or so, that this is quite a normal state. Some of your team, if you're leading a team, might appear to be more forgetful, might appear to not be listening, might appear to be slightly off their game. This can happen. So when I talk about the importance of breaks shortly, we'll see how this can help us with this decision-making process as well. Part of team well-being is movement. Movement. How do we get some movement in our day? This is something to really start thinking about because we are human, not superhero. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this slide. We need water, food, sunlight. We need movement. We need to keep our blood flowing. Stand-up desks are great. Today I've got my computer on a chair with a few books, like just so I can be standing up for this session. So this is what we can do just to make sure we're getting that blood flowing and encouraging our teams to do the same. You've heard it before, sitting is the new smoking. So if we are sitting all day, if you see people on your virtual meetings or even see people in the office having a slouch, it's probably not appropriate to say, hey, sit up straight, but we could say, hey, let's go for a walk and get some energy or something. So this can really help. So just being aware of this, being aware of some of these bad habits that we and our teams are slipping into. Now, I mentioned the power of breaks. This research was done with the Israeli Parole Board. And what this graph is showing is the percentage of favorable decisions they were granting for parole over the course of a day. And what this shows is they started quite high, around 70% mark. As they got closer to morning tea, the percentage of favorable decisions dropped, and then it went up after morning tea, then down to lunch, went up again. What this is showing is after the break, they're more able to make the difficult decisions because the difficult decision is to grant parole. So what this indicates for us in our everyday work and our everyday life is if we're having enough breaks, if we're looking after ourselves, we will be able to make difficult decisions more easily. So I call this break power, the importance of having breaks throughout the day, breaks in our meetings even, when our meetings are longer than half an hour. Give everyone a chance to stretch, get people moving. Get people moving. Now, I know a lovely lady, Lizzie, who can even run virtual movement sessions for you. If you want to know any more about Lizzie, get in touch with me and I'll pass on her details. Using timers. Now, this slide we often use when we talk about the Pomodoro technique for productivity, but I just wanted to share today, use timers for different parts of your work. You can just use countdown timers on the phone. You don't have to have a timer like this that goes tick, tick, tick. But when we're thinking about movement, team movement, personal movement, set a timer for half an hour. When that timer goes up, get up and have a move, have some movement. This is a really good way of doing it. Using timers in your meetings, using timers in your everyday work, just to prompt you that, wow, I didn't realize an hour had just gone past. So this can be a really good prompt. Someone was telling me the other day, they have a timer on their desk that goes for about 10 minutes. So when someone walks into their office, they say, how long do you need? If this person says, oh, about 10 minutes, they put the timer on so that they know when their meeting's going to be over. We can do a similar thing when we're just thinking about movement, setting timers so that we get up and move. This keeps our brains going. The other thing that we mentioned we'd be talking about today was walking meetings. This is a really good way of managing our team well-being, really good way of connecting with people. I've got some more research to show you here about meetings in general, but this can also relate to walking meetings. And the important thing to think about with all of this is that we are all different. We're all different. So some people are going to love this and some people are not going to love this in terms of different concepts. I just love this slide. I always need to take a minute just to look at all these different little puppies. Sorry about that. We're all different. Everyone in our team is different. Now, some research we did about 3/4 of the way through last year to understand hybrid working, working from home. What did people want with connection with the team? Now, I'm thinking specifically here about meetings. So what we asked was what is the best frequency to have one-on-ones with your manager? Now, what was interesting here was 69% of people said weekly or more often. And this is where walking meetings can really help. If you feel as the manager or if you feel as the team member that you're always sitting in meetings, a walking meeting can be really powerful. And what this research showed, people want that connection with their manager. People need that connection. So I know a lot of people are worried about micromanagement with hybrid working. A lot of our clients are sort of feeding back that they're worried about micromanaging people too much. But people want connection. People want to know what's going on. They want their manager to let them know what's happening in the business, what's happening in the broader team. So walking meetings, just going back to the title slide there, walking meetings is a really good way of doing this. And the other thing, coincidentally, the number's exactly the same, but it was a different split. But what's the best frequency to meet with your team? 69% again said weekly or more often than weekly. So we can have walking meetings with the team. These can be in-person, physical walking meetings, and these can also be virtual, like on the phone walking meetings. Really good way to do it. So some of my thoughts on walking meetings, how do we make them productive? How do we make them effective? Because I have a little personal story here, which is I used to always resist walking meetings because I felt that they weren't effective. I felt that we couldn't effectively capture the minutes, effectively brainstorm ideas. And credit to Matt Wright, one of our productivity ninjas at Think Productive Australia. He challenged me on this and said, well, let's have a walking meeting. And I promise you that every time we have a good idea or we need to capture something, I will stop and I'll make a note on my phone. And I know this seems really simplistic, but I love to share a personal story here or there. So that really changed my thinking on walking meetings. And I encourage everyone now to do walking meetings with their teams, do walking meetings as your one-on-ones. Just make sure you've got that clear capturing process so nothing's getting missed. Some other thoughts on walking meetings as per normal meeting practice. Make sure they have a really good purpose, a clear purpose. Why are we doing this meeting? Then we know we can achieve our outcome. Have an agenda. What are we going to be covering? Have a strong chairperson. If it's more than 2 people in the meeting, we need a strong chairperson and possibly even a timekeeper. So have a purpose, have an agenda, have a chairperson, have a timekeeper, take minutes. They'd be my top tips for making sure these walking meetings are effective. And these are a huge bonus for our team well-being. Huge bonus for our team well-being. So I'd like to wrap up. We promised that these ninja skill boosters are quite compact sessions so we don't take up a big part of your day. I'll wrap up the session now. I just want to check the chat, see if there's any comments here. Yeah, thank you, Julie. I could see people, sorry, I'm looking over at the other computer here. It's also great to set your agenda, no more than 3 things to talk about. Our brains work well in 3s. Yeah, that's a great tip, Julie, thank you. And if there's any other comments or questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. And I'm happy to stay back and have a chat with anyone that wants any more information. Here are some of our other workshops that we run. You can explore all of these at thinkproductive.com.au. Sorry, that says .co.uk there. But you can go there as well. We're a global business, doesn't really matter. So many great workshops to help at the moment. More Ninja Skill Boosters coming up, all sorts of different topics. If you have any ideas for topics, let me know. Let the team know here at Think Productive Australia. And we're happy to sort of pull together different topics to share, have discussions about. Just seeing if there's anything else in the chat there. Coming up, not really hot off the press yet, but coming up, we will be running a 6 weeks to Ninja program. Everyone that's here today will be able to get the special price of $450 for a 6-week program. It's not up and running yet, just putting that out there, letting you know, because you'll probably see an email about that in the near future. If you want more information, check out Graham's Beyond Busy podcast. And before you go, please just give us some quick feedback on today's session. I love getting feedback on these sessions because they're a bit of an experiment for us. We're putting them out there. We're doing them short and sharp. It's really about giving you some inspiration, giving you some thoughts. Just checking another comment there in the chat. Love the walking meeting idea. I guess any who are resistant can just stay at their desk. Yeah, that's a really good point, Sally. If people don't want to go on the walking meeting, some people may not be comfortable walking. There may be physical issues. There may be injuries. They can dial in. They can sit. That's right. What I would say there is that everyone needs to dial in just to make it, even those that are walking might need to be on their phones so that everyone is connected in a fair way, which is something to think about with hybrid working. Is our hybrid meetings, walking meetings, phone meetings, virtual meetings, make sure everyone's on a level playing field. So yeah, before you leave, please fill out this survey. You can just scan the QR code with your phone. That's one positive thing we got out of COVID. Oops, sorry, I've just stopped sharing there. Let me do that again.